Hello, Professor. In this video, we'll be covering regarding the analysis of the application that we're trying to make. And as to recap a bit, it's basically an app where you'll be able to put customizable notification on to on your phone while you're using your phone at a specific time you would want to receive that notification, and hence it's flexible on it depends on what you need from the text itself, so it's purely your choice. But before we understand a bit of that and putting what we expect in the future, we need to analyze of this final step, which is regarding the business model canvas. And in hindsight, this is a important aspect of when creating any business, and in this process of creating the application is to analyze what we have received as feedbacks from the people, from the forms that we sent to the people to have some response, and also our values of while creating the app of what we want out of creating it, and what are we trying to let the users experience, and also thinking of the future on how it's going to look like of the app itself and how we're going to maintain it. So this is divided into 9 different sectors, and it will be covering each one of them individually a bit, and we'll carry on with that and finally summing it up over again. So starting out with our key partners, because we're starting this as a small project, one of the most important thing to do is to actually build it. So the starting point is what we need is the developers. Without the developers, we wouldn't even have the app. All these different type of promotion, all these different types of other type of partners, we won't be putting too much emphasis on those yet. So for now, we need to understand of just creating the app first and let it take off as it goes. And the next part will be part of our key activities. So within the app of just being as a helping yourself as mentally and understanding yourself, it makes sense for us to also somehow build small community within the area of or from the data that we can get from them, from the users that are using this app. So by building the community, I think it brings a sense of belonging, of just we're on the same boat and just trying to figure out ourselves and understanding one each other, and to be and talk with one another is a enriching time we can have, especially communicating to other people in this digital world. So it's one of the key activities that we want to create. And also in the later future, we want to build more features as we'll gather some more feedbacks and such. The value proposition, it will be simple, it will be customizable, flexible, and easy to use. So that's the main core of it, is to make it as simple to use for people accessing it, especially to not make it as complex to be using it, because if there's so much things to click on, you wouldn't know where to click on. But this is specifically to customize notifications. So once you enter the app, I'm planning to make just in front of you the customizable box that you will want to type it out and put on the specific time later on. So to make it clear and to make it concise and to make it simple for it to be user friendly. And the customer relation is basically self-service, people and accessibility. We want people to just use it as freely as they want, and manage themselves with what they want and what they need out of themselves to understand themselves, and based on the app and flexibility that we can provide for them. And the channels that we need to have to make it broadly used is both iOS and Android, and also websites and social media promotion. We can think that later on, but more importantly is through the apps of iOS and Androids for people to use on different mobile phones, and also by websites for people to use on their desktops and such. So those are the key parts of using the app, places you can use the app, and the key resources that we have includes the platform itself, the mobile app developers, and those two are the crucial aspect, because to have the app we also need to get license from the platforms itself, from the App Store, Play Store, for it to be eligible for it to stay there, and that makes it the key understanding to maintain it as long as we can. And regarding the mobile app itself, mobile app developer, as we're also wanting to progressively improve the app, it takes note that we have to also keep in touch with our developers and how we can address things or adjust things within the app on how we can improve it in the later future and what the users would want. Next point would be the cost and structure. The app development, it would conclude the app development and maintenance and the custom cost of marketing. So these two are quite essential. The development and maintenance, it requires time and money for us to maintain the app on the platform as long as possible, because without maintenance the app would just be not there. So we need to keep up with what the capability of the phones requires for the app to exist and such, or updating the software and requirements for it to still be available for people to use on their specific device. So we'll definitely have our eye on that and be well aware of what needs to be keep up in date for people to continually keep using the app. And revenue streams. So how are we going to get money from using this app? That's one of the key questions, well, of any business. How do we gain some profits? Well, in theory, I'd say profits isn't one of the biggest goal as much, but it will be sustainable also to gain some revenues as well. So as we're creating this app for our self-enriching purposes, as to not be hypocritical, we would make a donation option for people who would want to, by their decision, if they would want to contribute for some donation, or perhaps we can put a QR code in the app and from designated places, so they could just scan and type out the freely amount of cash that we want to contribute for the development of the app further and the stability of the app. So yeah, that's one of the key revenue that we could get from, and also the amount of time that people are on the app. So those are the two essential ones, but we'll figure it out later down the line of developing the app and see where it takes off. And lastly is the customer segment. The people that we do want to emphasize on, the people to use are the people who are eager, hopeful, and trying to find their own values. So within this app, as I've mentioned before, it's an app of just self-discovery, maintaining our thoughts and with clarity, because from my a bit of observation, I've checked different apps and such. What I can say is that these apps can be a bit overwhelming for the amount of things that you can see, especially for one you just want to set some notification, and there are some buttons that are so in the corners and such, and it's not just there or like visibly noticeable. So I just want to make it much more user friendly and people easier to see and what they need to do to customize their notification. In hindsight, these are the different sectors that we've covered up regarding the business model canvas. So again, this is a starting point, and hopefully in the long run we'll continually develop the app and build trust within the users that we have, and also build a community out of them and learn with each other and continuously be aware of our surroundings, because in this day and age technology is growing rapidly, and I hope this app can at least help them to still be aware of their thinking capability and be more aware of why they're on the internet. So I thank you for your attention. I thank you for your time, Professor, for listening, and thankful for you watching this video. Thank you, Professor.